Adequate notice of this meeting as required by the Open Public Meetings Act was provided through the posting, mailing, and filing of the annual notice of regularly scheduled meetings of the Town Council on December 10th, 2025. This notice was, on that date, posted at the bulletin board of the municipal building, provided to the Westfield Leader and the Star Ledger, and filed with the clerk of the Town of Westfield. Ms. Laushi, may I have a roll call, please?
Mayor Berman.
Here.
Councilmembers Gilman.
Here.
Domagala. Pecker.
Here.
Kiefer. Saunders.
Here.
Adwar.
Here.
Armento.
Here.
Venkataraman.
Here.
Please rise for the invocation, which will be given by Councilwoman Gilman, and then remain standing for the salute to the flag.
We come together today to serve our community with dedication and care. Let us be mindful of the needs of all and approach our duties with compassion and fairness. May we find unity in our diversity and strengthen our collaboration. Help us to be good stewards of the trust placed in us. Thank you for the opportunity to serve.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, and thanks to everyone who is joining us in person and via the live stream on the town's YouTube channel. As always, the replay of this meeting will be available on Facebook, YouTube, and TV 36. Public comment will be accepted in person only. I'll make a few brief remarks before we begin tonight's agenda. With the weather improving, it's a good time to remind everyone about the importance of complying with leash laws for all dogs in our community. Yesterday, I was contacted by a resident who was understandably very upset about an off-leash dog at Tamacos Park that attacked and injured her leashed dog. This resident did the right thing by calling our police department, who responded quickly and thoroughly in an attempt to identify and locate the resident with the unleashed dog. Unfortunately, without the identity of the other owner, the police are not able to issue a violation for the leash law, which requires all dogs to be on a leash when not on a resident's property. In the interest of public safety, we expect all residents to comply with the leash law, and we are evaluating additional measures that can be implemented to prevent these incidents from happening in the future. These considerations include the possibility of increasing the violation fine from the current $50, placing additional signage in the park to remind residents of the leash laws and penalties, utilizing cameras in Tamacos Park, and establishing an intermittent police presence in the area as our resources allow. If you do encounter an unleashed dog, please call the police department, who will take a report and, if warranted, forward the information to the Board of Health as well. And if you can safely do so, please take a photo of the dog and its owner, as that documentation helps the police enforce the law. So for tonight's agenda, thanks to the residents who have provided feedback following the introduction of the 2026 municipal and capital budgets at our last meeting. As a reminder, the public hearing and final vote on the budget adoption will take place on April 21st. Tonight, we have several ordinances on second reading, including establishing a cap bank, approving the bond ordinance for the capital budget that will fund a range of improvements for our town, and approving the lease agreement with the Van Gogh Westfield LLC for the Mills Ferris Pearsall House. In addition, we'll hear a public safety ordinance on first reading to add 2 on-street handicap parking spaces on Kakiola Place and at Wilson School, and also extend a no parking from here to the corner on Barchester Way to provide a better line of sight onto Lawrence Avenue. We'll also vote on resolutions to enter another cooperative purchasing group, award the contract for the Westfield Memorial Pool concessionaire, and to authorize the annual payment for our 25 license plate readers. Lastly, we have a resolution authorizing a new one-year agreement for the temporary ice rink at Gumpert Park, with the option to renew for 2 additional years. While we are moving this agreement forward, we are actively pursuing a permanent solution for the Westfield rink and are in discussions with our current partner. While the idea of Tamacos Park has been posed in the past, there are a number of related challenges supported by the feedback we saw in the Tamacos Park Community Report that will make this location unlikely. We have strong options on the table, and we will continue to update the community as discussions progress. We will ultimately pursue a solution that best serves all of our stakeholders. Let's begin. And before we get to our legislative session, we have a proclamation for Parkinson's Awareness Month, which I'm going to read now, and then we will take some pictures afterwards. Whereas Parkinson's disease is a chronic, progressive neurological disease and is the second most common neurodegenerative disease in the United States. And nearly 1 million Americans are living with Parkinson's disease, with close to 90,000 new diagnoses occurring each year. And Parkinson's disease is the 14th leading cause of death in the United States, according to the CDC. And it is estimated that the economic burden of Parkinson's is at least $52 billion annually, including direct and indirect costs, including treatment, Social Security payments, and lost income to patients and family members. And research suggests the cause of Parkinson's disease is a combination of genetic and environmental factors, but the exact cause and progression of the disease is still unknown. And volunteers, researchers, caregivers, and medical professionals are working to improve the quality of life of persons living with Parkinson's disease and their families. And increased research, education, and community support services, such as those provided by the Parkinson's Foundation and other organizations, are needed to find more effective treatments and to provide access to quality care to those living with the disease today. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Mayor Jeremy Berman, in recognition of the need to bring awareness to the plight of Parkinson's patients and their families, do hereby designate the month of April of 2026 as Parkinson's Awareness Month in the town of Westfield. So we're going to come take some pictures, but I do also want to note that in addition to Parkinson's Awareness Month, it is also Autism Awareness Month, and we will be lighting the colors outside in blue in honor of both of those months. So please come forward. Okay, Ms. Lauschie, are there any advertised hearings?
Yes, Mayor, we have 3 advertised hearings tonight, starting with General Ordinance 2026-11, an ordinance for calendar year 2026 to establish a cap bank. Anyone wishing to be heard on General Ordinance 2026-11, please come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Seeing no one, Mayor, you may close the hearing.
This hearing is closed.
Next is Special Ordinance 2026-01, bond ordinance to authorize the making of various improvements and the acquisition of new additional or replacement equipment and machinery, new information technology equipment, new communication and signal systems equipment, and new automotive vehicles, including original apparatus and equipment in, by, and for the town of Westfield and the county of Union, state of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $5,415,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds. Anyone wishing to be heard on Special Ordinance 2026-01, please come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Seeing no one, Mayor, you may close the hearing.
This hearing is closed.
Last is General Ordinance 2026-12, an ordinance authorizing the execution of a lease agreement with Van Gogh Westfield LLC for the Mills Ferris Pearsall House. Anyone wishing to be heard on General Ordinance 2026-12, please come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Seeing no one, Mayor, you may close the hearing.
This hearing is closed. Councilman Venkataraman, please move for the adoption of the Finance Policy Committee ordinances.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to move General Ordinance 2026-11, an ordinance for calendar year 2026 to establish a cap bank.
May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Gilman. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilmembers Gilman,
Yes.
Becker,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Adwar,
Yes.
Armento,
Yes.
Becatorana.
Yes.
Mayor Berman.
Yes, this motion is carried.
Next, I would like to move Special Ordinance 2026-01, Bond Ordinance to authorize the making of various public improvements and the acquisition of new, additional, or replacement equipment and machinery, new information technology equipment, new communication and signal systems equipment, and new automotive vehicles, including original apparatus and equipment in, by, and for the town of Westfield in the county of Union, state of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $5,415,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Adwar. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilmembers Gilman,
Yes.
Becker.
Yes.
Saunders.
Yes.
Adwar.
Yes.
Armento.
Yes.
Becatorana.
Yes.
Mayor Berman.
Yes, this motion is carried. Councilman Pecker, please move for the adoption of General Ordinance 2026-12.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to move General Ordinance number 2026-12, an ordinance authorizing the execution of a lease agreement with Van Gogh Westfield LLC for the Mills Ferris Pearsall House.
May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Saunders. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilmembers Gilman,
Yes.
Becker.
Yes.
Saunders.
Yes.
Adwar.
Yes.
Armento.
Yes.
Becatorana.
Yes.
Mayor Berman.
Yes, this motion is carried. May I have a motion to approve the minutes from the Town Council Conference regular meetings of March 24th, 2026?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Pecker. Do I have a second?
Sorry.
Second by Councilman Gilman. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? The motion is carried. Now it is time for open discussion by citizens. Anyone may come up to the microphone and speak to the council on any subject on which the council has jurisdiction. Please state your name and address for the record and limit your comments to 5 minutes. Yep.
There we go. Is that better?
Yep.
Sorry. Mayor Berman, council members, my name is Dana Downer. I live at 16 Tamacos Way. I have been a resident of Westfield my entire life, more years than I'll admit to on a microphone. Growing up, I played 13 seasons of lacrosse for Westfield, setting my own records, and I am currently a member of the Westfield Lacrosse Board. I am currently also in my 4th season of coaching. All of this, however, pales in comparison to the mark that other members of my family have left on this town. I am here to follow up on a formal request I submitted on April 1st to all of the council members regarding a proclamation to honor my father, Michael Downer. For the last 25 years, my father has dedicated himself to the Westfield and New Jersey athletic communities as an official for lacrosse, football, and volleyball. For 40 years, he has been a staple of our local youth coaching and booster programs since the 1980s. Unfortunately, due to a sudden and rapid health battle with ALS since August, the recognition date could not be moved any sooner. This is why our request reached your office with shorter notice than I would have liked. This Saturday, April 18th at 11 a.m., he is being honored during halftime at the Westfield Shawnee Boys varsity lacrosse game at Keller Stadium. We are requesting that the town consider formally proclaim that date as Michael Downer Day in recognition of his integrity and impact on the multiple generations of Westfield athletes. I understand that the timeline is very tight. If a formal proclamation cannot be finalized by Saturday, I understand, and I would respectfully ask if a letter of recognition could be signed instead. We would be honored to read that from the town during the halftime ceremony to ensure that my father's 40 years of service are acknowledged. I have a draft language with me tonight and would be happy to coordinate with the town clerk if possible to make this as seamless as possible for your office. If not, is there someone that I can speak with tonight to ensure that we have a response before Saturday?
Thank you, Dana. We're actually going to have our administrator, Jim Gilday, answer.
I have a copy of the email I sent and the draft. Oh, perfect.
First one, that's me to you.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to let Mrs. Downer know, but also the council know. We got the request. I've already been in touch with the schools, the athletic director, and actually you're selling yourselves short. It's Saturday 18th. You have a whole other week, right? So, right, this 18th is the game? Yes. So it's a week from this coming Saturday. So we have time. We've been coordinating, when we do things like this, when we have these, very unfortunate circumstances, we do coordinate with the schools when you have sports functions or council meetings or board of education meetings. So I've talked to him. We have this draft information, and I fully expect that we'll be doing something that you'll have on the 18th from the mayor and council. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Any others?
Hello, everyone. Andrew Stillifson, 620 South Chestnut Street. First, just a quick thank you to all of you. I know you're all basically volunteers. Making the municipal sausage is not pretty or easy, so thank you for your service. I appreciate that. I'm here to talk about the Westfield rink. First of all, thank you to Councilman Armento for letting his constituents know this is being addressed tonight. I appreciate the information you sent over. Thank you for that. I wouldn't have known about it otherwise, so thank you. So I live right by Gumpert Park. The concerns we have today, the neighbors, are the same we have 7 or 8 years ago when this first came to the front and when it was first proposed. Unfortunately, the impacts have not lessened. They've only gotten worse over the years. So I was a little concerned and alarmed when I learned that this might not just be approved for 1 year, but 3 more years potentially, which could bring us to 10 or 11 years. I've honestly lost track of the rink and the impacts to the neighborhood. So the same concerns that we had then are true now. Cars, traffic, trash, noise, the park being used until 9 or 10 o'clock at night, which happens really in no other park in town, especially in the winter time when no other parks are really being used that late. The prior administration didn't really take the concerns that seriously and typically would just push them to the side as not a big deal. So I just want to bring to your attention those concerns we had then are still present now, and approving this for 1 year with a 2-year option, really opposed to that. I understand it's probably going to go forward anyway. I'm a realist. I understand that, but I would just ask you please to keep in mind the concerns and the impact to the neighborhood, the overwhelming impact, negative impact to the neighborhood that the rink has had over the last 7 to 8 years. There's no positive for us. It's just negative. And that includes the neighbors who live in Garwood, the Garwood Mews, directly across the street from it, many of them former Westfield residents. I think it's also important just to quickly talk about safety. We all know that there was the collapse of the rink roof back in February. I got the information from Councilman Armento, like I just mentioned, but really there's been no public airing of what happened, why did it happen, root cause analysis, what type of measures are going to be taken going forward to mitigate those instances. Thank God no one was hurt. Thank God there was no one in there when that happened. I ran into 2 kids who were about to go in for practice, and they said they were about to go in for a practice. I understand that everything was canceled. Maybe they didn't hear, but at least they weren't inside. They could have been. So I would like to hear more about the safety, what measures are going to be taken going forward to address safety concerns. At a minimum, root cause, how did it happen, why, what steps were avoided or should be taken going forward to really address this. And in conclusion, I just would like all of you to ask yourselves, do we really need a rink in Westfield? Do we need a full-size NHL hockey rink under a tent on a basketball court in a small park in a neighborhood in Westfield? There's a second rink going up at Warrenenko. That was one of the justifications 7, 8 years ago, is that we need more rinks, more hockey time. And first of all, let me just say I'm a big supporter of Westfield athletics. Go Blue Devils. If there's been any positive to this for the hockey program, that's great. I'm really happy for the kids. But do we really need it now that there's a second rink at Warrenenko? Do we really need this here in Westfield? It's only 15 minutes away. It's really not that big of a burden. Mayor Berman, I heard you say there might be a permanent solution. I hope that isn't Gumpert Park. I really hope that isn't. I hope it's someplace else in town. If this is a benefit for the town, everyone gets to benefit from it and enjoy it. Let it be a burden to everyone in town as well. Let it go to other places in town. We've had it for 7, 8 years now. Now you're talking 3 more years. So please, before you vote, just ask yourself, do we really need this in town, considering the impact to the neighborhood, the safety concerns, the availability of other ice. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Appreciate it. Do we have any others? Seeing no further comments, I close this portion of the meeting and move to bills and claims. Councilman Venkataraman.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to move bills and claims in the amount of $390,586.67.
May I have a second? Second by Councilwoman Adwar. Any discussion? All in favor? Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? The motion is carried. Next on the agenda is reports of standing committees, beginning with the Finance Policy Committee. Councilman Venkataraman.
Thank you, Mayor. I have 9 resolutions, which I would like to move as a package. 1, resolution authorizing the Chief Financial Officer to refund Recreation Department fees. 2, resolution authorizing the Chief Financial Officer to draw warrants for overpaid taxes. 3, resolution authorizing the Chief Financial Officer to draw warrant to refund street opening cash bond. 4, resolution authorizing the Chief Financial Officer to refund dumpster security payment. 5, resolution authorizing the Chief Financial Officer to draw warrant for dog licenses for March 2026. 6, resolution authorizing the Chief Financial Officer to draw a warrant for Board of Adjustment escrow monies. 7, resolution authorizing the Chief Financial Officer to draw a warrant for Planning Board escrow monies. 8, resolution authorizing execution of an agreement to enter the Educational Services Commission of Morris County Cooperative Pricing System. 9, resolution authorizing an award of contract for Westfield Memorial Pool concessionaire.
May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Armento. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? The motion is carried. Councilwoman Gilman, please move the items for Public Safety, Transportation, and Parking Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to move a resolution authorizing payment to Flock Safety for the LPR cameras for the Westfield Police Department.
May I have a second? Second by Councilman Saunders. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes, this motion is carried.
I would also like to move on first reading, General Ordinance Number 2026-13, an ordinance to amend the Code of the Town of Westfield, Chapter 13.
May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Venkataraman. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilmembers Gilman,
Yes.
Becker,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Adwar,
Yes.
Armento.
Yes.
Venkataraman,
Yes.
Mayor Burton.
Yes, this motion is carried. Councilman Pecker, please move the Code Review and Town Property Committee resolution.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to move a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a lease agreement with Arena Realty Partners.
May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Gilman. Any discussion?
Yes.
Councilman?
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Stiffelson. As a Ward 2 councilman, certainly torn a little bit. 7 or 8 years ago, when the previous administration had promised the Ward 2 residents who live near the rink that this would be temporary, that didn't come to fruition because it's ongoing. Unfortunately, the previous leadership didn't do anything to pursue other options. But I feel confident under Mayor Berman here that we are going to look at other options. I think due diligence needs to be done to look at the ice rink. I do think it is, I think there's a lot of people in town that find it very valuable. It's unfortunate that people in that area, it's very inconvenient because as I agree, the traffic, kids crossing the street late at night, it's not an ideal spot. But I think that I'm voting yes for it because I think to say no right now without having done any due diligence, which didn't occur previously, is inappropriate. But I think starting now, we need to look at permanent options, as Mayor Berman said. If next year we're in the same situation, nothing has occurred, I will vote no, but for now I will vote yes, because I do think it's a valuable asset to the town. And I think we need to look at the right options. I'm hoping a bipartisan committee can be put forth to look at future options. In regards to in the safety concerns, I actually reached out to Mr. Gilday, and I actually was in contact with Ken Anderson from Arena, and basically they evaluate the safety of the ice rink every day, and they noticed that it was sagging, and that's when they opted to cancel all activities for that day. So the public wasn't at risk. Mr. Anderson had indicated that he's having engineers look at the structure, and also in our new agreement, we're seeking greater security precautions and safety precautions for the rink. So I feel confident going forward that safety should not be an issue, and I feel confident that this town council, as in unison, will look at something that is fruitful for the town and hopefully meets everyone's needs.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other comments? Councilman
Yeah, I just
Saunders.
want to echo what Councilman Armento said. I want to echo essentially everything. I think it was a good temporary solution. I think at this point, given the timeliness, we have to vote yes for this 1 year. I just want to be clear, we have the option for the second and third year. So that doesn't, I know you said that means we have 3 years. It really is just one, and I do believe we are all looking for a more permanent solution that isn't right in the middle of a neighborhood. But given the year is coming up and the winter will be here sooner than we know it, I'm going to vote yes on this, but I want you to know that I hear everything you're saying. I hear what the neighbors are saying, and let's not let the past rewrite the future. So we hear you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other comments?
I do have a comment, Mayor.
Councilman?
I do appreciate your feedback, Mr. Siltson, and do wholeheartedly want to work with the neighborhood. I know in recent years, at least to the Recreation Commission, concerns had been brought up in recent years in terms of mitigating the concerns, which I know the commission would be happy to work with Ken Anderson and the neighbors. That's one thing. In addition, I think the rink has been an extreme benefit to the town, to the public as a whole, as well as particularly to the girls' ice hockey programs in town. So I'll be voting yes as well, but agree, I'm looking forward to how we can make a permanent solution for the rink here in town.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Any other comments? Okay, let's vote. All in favor? Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? The motion is carried. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Pecker, second.
Second.
Councilman Saunders, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Opposed? The motion is carried. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for being here.